Dance with me.
Welcome to Read My Lips Radio, a lively hour of unscripted conversations with savvy creatives. Producer and host, akaRadioRed, asks novelists, artists, photographers, designers, comedians, actors, musicians, composers, screenwriters, directors, and technology innovators about their creative passion, inspirational muses, and how they create. Ooh, how those lips can talk. Now, here's akaRadioRed.
Yes, indeed. Here is akaRadioRed, and we are live on LinkedIn and Facebook twice and on YouTube. I have two very special guests with me. It's Monday. Where else would Radio Red be except here on, used to be Read My Lips. Now it's the creativity show, Read My Lips with akaRadioRed. We're trying to plug into those buzzwords, those keywords, those hashtags, those SEO markers. There we go. I have a wonderfully different show for you today. I've invited two ladies who are artists and authors, and we're going to have a slideshow about a third of the way to a half of the way through the show. We're going to hopefully delight you, inspire you, regale you with beautiful art. And the title of the episode this week is The Human Art of Creativity. Many of you have watched the show for years will know Karen Gibson is with us, and we have a brand new guest, Lili Boo. I hope I'm allowed to say that, McGovern, and I'm Radio Red, and a shout out to our engineer, Jordan Henson, who is getting us on the Voice America Media Empowerment Channel. So it is March 16th. What, already? Seriously? Let's see what we've got here. 75th day into the year already? Lili, it's the Gregorian calendar. When it was the Julian calendar, people in the beginning of October like me didn't get a birthday because it skipped the beginning of October. So Gregorian came around, I think, before he was a pope. No disrespect. And he said, Mom, I'm going to be creative. I'm going to have something called a leap year every fourth year. I'm going to give them one extra day. I'm going to line it with the moon, and we're going to get the October people back. And he did. So thank you, Gregorian. There were 290, I'm full of all these little tidbits here. 290 days left to the year. It's not time to start planning New Year's. It's the 11th Monday, and nobody cares about that except me. Karen or Lili, are you a Pisces? Either one? No? Okay.
My mom was a Pisces.
There
My
you go.
mom was Pisces too.
Well, my goodness. And well, mine was February 1st, so she wasn't. She was an Aquarius. Okay, but a Pisces is February 19th to March 20th. So we're just about at the edge of that. Okay, we're not going to get into that right now. So I am going to start my opening, and I hope you both like it. And here we go. Welcome to the Creativity Show, where inspiration sparks art's flame. akaRadioRed on her Scarlett Mic, and Lili on her Scarlett Mic too, welcomes artists at the top of their game. The human art of creativity takes our spotlight today, where bold thinking and artistic curiosity will light the way. Karen's taking pictures. I'm going to send you the pictures, lady. Put your camera down. Karen Gibson and Lili Boo McGovern join Radio Red for an artful tableau. Don't you like that word? There's a special guest artist too. I wonder who she could be. 3 inventive artists who may change what you think you know. At our roundtable show and tell, you'll see what's on our mind. I gave it away as imagination, experimentation, and inspiration align. I hope you like that, Lili. Karen knows what I do. Here we go. I have a special gift for each of you. Karen, here is yours. From Honolulu shores, where Pacific breezes flow, Karen's creative seeds soon began to show. Childhood in Guam, then Hawaii, once more in view, where words and numbers shaped the talents that she grew. Inspired by teachers who saw Karen's bright mind ignite, she studied marketing, where her ideas took flight. From guiding brands, then guiding families with true care, Karen's heart helps parents raise kids with wisdom she share. Then canvas called her spirit. Karen, colors bold and patterns free, abstract forms in watercolor, plus acrylic artistry. Karen also wrote of her mother's dementia with courage and with grace, while coaching young learners to find confidence and their place. Now, multi-talent author, painter, poet, whose heartfelt stories glow, Karen shares her creativity, as you'll soon also know. Welcome, Karen. I hope you like that.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And now it's Lili's turn. Okay, here we go. Raised in the car between Ridgecrest and Chinatown's bright scene, young Lily's creative spirit grew vibrant and keen. A rocket scientist father near China Lake's desert land, and a free-spirited mother creating wonders by hand. From applehead dolls to corn husks shaped with care, college and puzzles, handmade magic everywhere. As art framer, singer, painter, her talents found their voice in music, dance, and poetry. Lili followed joyful choice through psychology, songwriting, and life's healing art. Creativity coaching now sings in Lili's heart. She shows how art can turn life stories into something new as imagination shapes the world we choose to view. Inspired by Mother Nature, flowers, symbols, shapes at play, Lili joined us to share her powerful joy today. Welcome, Lili. I hope you like that.
Yay! That was amazing.
I'm glad. I told you I liked her, Karen. So gather around with the cool kids and the cool vibes sway. Let's sway, ladies, as we dive deep into creativity today. akaRadioRed's energy lights the way. We hope to inspire you to live large, love life, and play. I hope you enjoyed the opening, ladies. Yes.
Oh, that's
I'm glad. I'm glad. And we do have a guest artist, and it's moi. I'm going to join you in the art part of the show, and I'm delighted to do that. So, Karen, I'm putting the camera on you, you beautiful lady in Hawaii, and I want you to tell us a little more about your background, a little more about your creativity, a little more about your art. Just a little, take a couple minutes, and then we'll ask Lili to fill in more of the blanks. Go ahead, Karen.
Well, I think as the mom of two adult daughters, wife, author, painter, poet, educator, I realized that art, and I think it was meant to be that I bumped into and met Lili because I'm realizing how universal art is. And whether you're 3 or 17 or, 61, that people who say, I'm not creative, I can't paint, truly is a gift within each of us. And I'm all about rewiring the brains to process past trauma. And I realized that you can be as young as 6 and have past trauma, right? So I think Letting Go with Aloha is my parent family coaching business, and then Brain Builders since 1999. I'm all about the brain, and I think art is one of the greatest ways to heal the brain.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Karen. And you and I have known each other through art a little bit.
Yes.
We were doing some Sunday texting, and I was in my studio painting and drawing and doing whatever and telling you what I was doing. And you said, "Oh, I want to try that." And so we shared.
Yeah,
shared
you
some
introduced hair dryer art. I mean, sponge, just different.
balloon art, the balloon kisses, right?
One
All
of my
kinds of
favorites.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm delighted to have you come back on the show. Lili, you're new to me. You're new to my audience. I'm going to put you on speaker view. Why don't you tell us a little more about yourself and unpack all of the things I said about you in my opening? Lili, welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Radio Red, and thank you to Karen for introducing us, and thanks for having me on the show. And I think you summed it up so well in your opening. It was like, oh my God, that was like the best bio I could ever choose to have. So I probably will use that on my website from now on. And like Karen, art and heals, and I'm all about have been on this healing journey because I grew up in a lot of trauma and drama like a lot of other people, and hence searching into psychology and trying to figure things out, and then Buddhism, trying to figure things out, and then really coming back home to art just in these last 10 years and finding my groove after being a singer-songwriter for 10 years. And there's always some way that I want to be able to express what's inside and share it and hold it in my hands to be able to give to somebody else. And so I just love art in all of its forms, all of its expressions. And I think that we all are creators at heart, and we all just want to share the good feelings that we have. And so it's so great to be able to share something that you've made with somebody, even if it's a tiny little heart that says, I love you. So, yeah.
That's lovely. And by the way, tell me a little bit more, please. Tell us about your singer-songwriting career. I want to know more. What kind of music?
Yeah, I called it folk rock because it was me and my guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I did sing with a group called the Derriers for about 10 years in Alaska, and we toured. And then I sang with another gal from the Derriers here in Washington named Vicky Reardon, and we were the Honey V's. But that was hard to say, and then I ended up taking care of my mom for her last few years of life, and I feel like the music died, when she passed away, and it took me a long time. And art was a huge part of that therapeutic process of healing and regaining my voice and regaining my love of singing and playing music. But yeah, so it's not a phase. I grew up as a classical pianist,
Mm-hmm.
and then my mom was a singer, a classical opera singer. My dad was a classical opera singer,
Oh
and I took
my.
piano lessons my whole, life. And then um yeah, so I just love, the human voice. And when I started practicing Buddhism, they say the voice does the Buddha's work. And I thought that was
Ooh.
so interesting that, this is how we touch each other's lives. It's like
Yep.
by talking to each other, right?
And that's why we're here. Fascinating. I didn't know that about your parents being opera singers. Very, very interesting. And obviously, Karen, she has no sense of humor joining a group called the Derrières and the Queen Bees.
I didn't know that too. I love it.
Obviously, Lily, you're very dry. I wish you'd get something going here. Thank you very much for that. You don't want to pick up a guitar and play anything for us today, do you?
Oh no, thank you
Okay,
though
I
for the
didn't think
offer.
you're welcome. I should have said, would you, rather than you
Yeah.
don't. That was putting the wrong Karen, that was putting the wrong message into the brain there. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go to the opening quotes. I've asked each of you for an interesting quote from a fictional character in a movie or a TV show or part of a song lyric, and you're going to relate it to your own creativity. And Karen, I think this is an obvious one, but I love it. I absolutely love it. The quote is from Professor John Keating, played by the wonderful, the brilliant, left us way too soon, Robin Williams. The movie, of course, is Dead Poets Society, 1989 coming of age drama, and set in 1959, way back when, fictional elite boarding school called the Welton Academy. He played an English teacher who inspired his students through teaching poetry. Very, very interesting. It was a commercial success. It grossed $235.9 million worldwide on a $16 million budget. Can you imagine if you had invested in that movie? I can't even think of the fifth highest grossing film of 1989. Lots of nominations and awards. There you go. So here is the quote. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. Karen. Oh, go ahead. Unpack it a little bit for
Yeah,
us.
it's been
Go
a
ahead.
long time since I saw that movie. When I saw that quote, I thought it was just so symbolic of, I think, when society, though, when you think about it, we're all, oh, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a doctor? You want to be an attorney? I mean, this, right? Non-create. Well, I'm sure they're creative in their own way. But I think people who want, right, when kids want to be an artist, it's not like the family's like, oh my gosh, you're destined for financial success. Is the group, perfect route to go for, right? So I think knowing that, and I love how, look at the creative frequency background that Lily has. I think we really need to teach kids that it's not something that is not valued, because I think, people who aren't, maybe they suffer from what they don't like to study. They're just not very academic. They don't feel like they're good enough, right? And with art in the playground, just knowing that we're all good enough exactly the way we are. I think it is through love, music, art. So maybe just suspending judgment, and that our value is never defined by certain standards, right? That all creativity is worthy.
That was beautiful. That was a
Thank you.
quotable moment. We have to get a clip of that. Are you crying, Karen? That was so. I think she's in tears. I think Lily and I are going to be in tears. Jordan's probably crying, although his camera isn't on. Jordan, are you crying? You can tell me in the chat here. Thank you, Karen. That was lovely. And the key thing to me, what you said was at the end, worthy. being worthy of your own creativity. I think that's the key. That's what do you see? What do you feel? What do you think? What moves you? I started art only because when I moved to Durham, North Carolina, about 7, 8 years ago, I've been here in Tennessee 3 years. Um, I saw a sale at Michael's of an art portfolio, an art kit, and I had never done much with art. And I bought the damn thing and I stuck it in the closet for about 6 months. It was like those models portfolios, with the handle and the big thing you carry, and it had paints in it and it had paper and it had brushes and pencils and a little bit of watercolors, and it had a book on how to do different kinds of art, different media. And I stuck it in the closet. And then about 6 months later, I opened the closet and said, "What's that thing doing in here?" And I took it out and I looked at it and said, "Oh, I don't want to do that." And I put it back. And then a couple of months later, I took it out and I said, "Gee, I have some paper. Why don't I take some of those pens, pencils, and do something?" I said, "Well, that was fun." And I put it away. Then I took it out the third or fourth time, and I was doing 2 to 3 paintings a weekend, staying up till 1 or 2 in the morning, and I did hundreds. I was going to Michael's and filling my trunk with canvases by the dozen and using them. It was unreal. It was like it unleashed something in me. And I was watching videos of different types, styles, the balloon kisses and all that, Karen, and sharing that with people like you. So anyway, it just kind of crept up on me that there was an art kit in my closet. And I decided to see what was in it. And poof, there we go. And when I moved here, it was a 53-foot moving truck. Don't ask what the move cost. And there were boxes and boxes and boxes of canvases. And now they're on the floor. The whole wall in the hallway is this room, my office, the guest room next door there, the garage, everywhere. They're hanging everywhere because I enjoy and you're going to see some of my art. I'm sorry I took away so much time here. Let's go to see, Karen, you inspired me. Lili, I'm going to your quote. This is interesting. I have the scene where the quote is. So the quote is from Hook, 1991 American fantasy adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg. He was there at the Oscars last night, and written by James V. Hart and Malia Scotch-Marmo. I love that name. Starring, oh my goodness, did you two get together? Robin Williams starred in this one. Robin Williams is Peter Banning, aka Peter Pan. Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook. Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. Bob Hoskins as Mr. Smee. Maggie Smith as Granny Wendy. And Charlie Korsmo, I don't know him, as Jack Banning. Interesting. Of course, it's a modern day version of J.M. Barrie's 1911 novel, Peter and Wendy. We all know Peter Pan. Okay, so here's the scene. Granny Wendy, played by Maggie Smith, Dame Maggie Smith, says, "So your adventure," I can't do a Maggie Smith accent, "your adventures are over." And Peter Banning, Robin Williams, says, "Oh no," here's the quote, to live would be an awfully big adventure." Okay, Lili, unpack it. What does this have to do with what we're talking about today? What does it mean? Go ahead.
To live. Well, I love that movie. I love that movie Hook, and I love that Karen and I both chose Robin Williams, like saying words that we both connected with, because he was such an influence in my life. And it's so funny when you asked me to pick a quote from a movie. It's like my favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz, and "There's no place like home" is one of my favorite quotes. And what does that have to do with creativity? And I love also that quote. I was panicked. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And but to live, I think, is an adventure these days. Things are happening so fast. Reality's coming at us so fast, and AI and the noise and just so much outside stuff that's going on, and it's hard to keep up. And so just to live, just to get out of bed is an adventure for me every day. And I think it is for a lot of people. And, how do I handle that? It's like I handle it doing art, because art gives me time to process and slow down. It takes time for the paint to dry, and sometimes you got to step back to get a little perspective. And I heard somebody talking about half of their process, or all of their process, 80% of their process was just stepping back and looking at their art over and over again to try to figure out, what's my next move? What do I really want to bring out? And so I think just living itself is an adventure, and I have so much respect for each individual that's on this journey, because they're doing the best that they can with what they have from where they're at. And, how can we hold each other up and rise together and play? Like you said, like art supplies have never been easier to access.
That's right.
And I feel like it's a new renaissance is available to us. So everybody can discover their creator side, that they're a manifester.
Wow. I think we just got a primer or primer 101 on creativity and living there. Karen, how did you meet Lili?
We met through the PQ, the Positive Intelligence program.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I met her, I just knew that, it was just a connection, right? And there was just so many similarities. And then just now, our mom's birthday, Robin Williams, similar quotes.
Wow. Yeah. As Jethro Gibbs said in Rule 37, there are no coincidences on NCIS, if you remember. And the context of which he said it was nothing to do with what we're talking about here, but it was more of a political content. But we're just talking, yes, in life. And I keep wanting to say that there's so many synchronicities. Something happened to me last week. I'll tell you all after the show off air that was just absolutely cray synchronous. And I just couldn't believe it afterwards. I came home and I could hardly breathe. It was so synchronous, but I'll tell you anyway. So let's go to now. Thank you both for the quotes. I appreciate that. I have a bunch of quotes toward the end of the show I'll share with you about creativity. I'm going to pick one or two creativity statements from each of you, and I'm going to read two from Karen, number one and statement number two. You don't have to find them. I have them here and I'll read them. And then I'd like you to unpack them and we'll see if they resonate with Lili and or with me. And then I'll pick a couple from Lili and then we'll do the art. We're almost at 1:30 and that's what I want to do. So Karen says, I paint what I experience based on my current mood, questions, or quiet struggles as I turn my emotions into color and motion. Motion. And then I'm going to add number two. My messy dining room table is my favorite place, creating during the early mornings before the world wakes and late nights when my family is in dreamland. So sneak into that table and go do your art. Okay, Karen, unpack this for us and let's see what Lili has to say. Go.
I love that you said that color and motion. And I learning that all I need sometimes is like 3 minutes. When you feel those knots in your stomach, or you feel like, you know what, I just maybe don't want to tutor. I just don't want to be productive. And it's amazing that once you get a brush, and Lili has inspired a lot of the abstracts. So when she shows something, you inspired, and I do my own version, but I'm realizing that all you need is color and motion, and it will drastically change your mood. I'll go from dreading to tutor, and I'll drive there in a totally different state of mind. And then I'll be inspired to start my session with color and motion, with a child who, is dreading academics, but as soon as they get to play with color and they're standing up or they're doing some stretches, it can change the whole mood and just my whole tutoring session. And
Very clever. And there's something about the creativity you bring to your sessions that I'm sure makes you important and valuable to the children and to their families. Because you bring the special part. It's okay, we got 3 pages to read. Okay, I got 5 quizzes. Okay, Timmy, let's do this. It sounds like it's a lot more. It's you wrap
it's tiny moves, stretching, and then sometimes, the lazy eighth. And I think with creativity, you don't realize how you can make math colorful. All you need is different colors, and then they're into that, and they don't know they're doing that,
And I'll tell you a secret. I'm an early woman in tech, Lili. Karen knows that. I was coding way back in the day, doing 2,000 lines of code at a time on paper, and then keep punching it and entering it into the system, and was able to enter the code on a Monday after writing all weekend and have it running by noon or 1 o'clock that day. These were big programs, but people say, oh, there's nothing creative about. Yes, there was. You want to know why? Computer program is like the blank canvas. It's like the blank slate. No two people will write the program exactly the same way. You have the syntax, you have the rules, you have the goal, what the report's supposed to cover, what's supposed to look like, how, but nobody quite tells you how to name things, how to move things around, what techniques to use. You get there by your own design. It's like a puzzle. That's why I didn't know why I was so joyful being a programmer. It was like, oh, I got to sit here and write 2001. No, I got to sit here and get the job done. How am I going to go from here to here? And that's where the creativity comes in. And today, well, people are saying code free, low code, no code. I loved it. I loved the coding because there was creativity there. How am I going to get that program to do what we needed to do so people can get their jobs done? There you go. So interesting. Okay. Thank you, Karen. Lili, anything you want to say about Karen, the nighttime and the dining room table?
I'm glad that she's finding the time and the space to give to herself to show up for herself first and foremost so that she can show up for her kids. It's not easy working with children these days, especially when they have parents that aren't paying them enough attention or they have, their other kids are not being nice or whatever. I mean, she's dealing with a lot of things. So I just have so much respect for Karen and working with kids, however it looks, and bringing the creativity in. Yeah, let's make things as fun as possible because that's when kids learn the most, right? When they want
Right.
to and when it's colorful.
That's when grown-ups learn the most too, when we're having fun. Hey, yay. Okay, let's go to Lili's statements. I have statement one from you, and I'm going to read the both parts of it that you sent me. The both. Duh. Okay, statement number one. I create every day, whether it's a recipe or a painting. And here's what you say. Lili says painting. I converted my bedroom into an art studio for my acrylics. I do equal amounts of creating at the kitchen table with watercolors. Let's tackle that first, and then I have something about your cooking next. So let's talk about why you have different places for different mediums or media, however you want to say that. Why acrylic in one room and watercolors in the other? To not get the brushes mixed up or not get the medium mixed up, or one needs water, watercolors need water. So you tell me, why?
Yeah, acrylics just seem to take up more space. They're messier for me, and I just want to have a whole bunch of space to be able to manipulate
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Did
tools
we?
with
Okay.
acrylics.
She's okay. Mhm.
Oh, my internet connection is unstable. I just got that message.
Okay, we
And
lost
then,
you about 2 seconds, but
yeah.
you're back. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. And then, watercolors are easy. I can do those anywhere. I love taking them in my purse. I have a little traveling set, and every time we go out to eat, whoever I'm with, we do a little collaborative watercolor back and forth while we're waiting for the food to come. And so I have all these treasures, little books of watercolor collaborations. And yeah,
Hold
you
on,
can,
hold on, hold
yeah.
on. What kind of paper do you bring? What kind of brushes do you bring for the watercolors? And you give it to the other person. You say, here's a little paper or a napkin or a no. How do you do it? I've
Some,
never heard this before.
yes,
Go.
sometimes I give it to them. They have little traveling books you can buy. They're about this big, and then they have little watercolor brushes that have water in the brush with them. And
What?
yeah, and then there's actually a paper palette. It's paper. It's like the color is flat, so you don't have to take up much room with it.
Wow. If I ever
Super
start
fun.
going out to dinner again with people, I want to get one of those. That's fabulous. Karen, any comment on that?
I love it. Well, I met someone for lunch and they weren't feeling well. And I said, you know what, we're going to chill with art. And they're like, no, but I just had different pens. And he really got into it. I was going to take it away. He goes, wait. I just need to touch up the corners. And it was amazing. I thought we need to, because they might not be open to it, but isn't it fun? That's how we need to use our wait time.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. Let me read Lily's second. You say, cooking, whatever the current diet I'm exploring, keto right now. Previously, it was vegan and vegetarian, and I've always loved baking. I'd like to sample your cooking. I used to think food was love, and I offered treats to everyone. Now I'm focused on, you got to come and teach me, cutting out the sugar completely so that it requires a whole new level of getting creative to satisfy my cravings for carbs. Wow, I haven't started yet, but anyway, I still love my sugar. I use in my morning milkshake, I use agave syrup instead of, I can't use sucralose or any of those fake. They leave a taste for 48 hours. It's horrible. So I'm trying to cut back on sugar by using the agave, which is raw and it's a little more organic than just using processed sugar. I hope that's good. Talk to me about your cooking and your creating in cooking. We want to know. Lily, I'm putting you back on speaker view.
Yeah,
Go.
I feel like my cooking came from my mom. My mom always cooked for us a lot of homemade food. We were very poor, so she cooked a lot and she baked a lot, and so that was the way she showed love to us. And I kind of picked that up as a stay-at-home mom for many years, and so I love to cook. Love to eat well, and so does my family. And yeah, when you go on the keto diet, which is completely, I have never done that before, and it's really opposite of vegan. There's a lot of meat and eggs and things like that, but there's also a lot of whole grains and not whole grains, but like seeds, like flax seeds and psyllium husks and just all sorts of ways you can get creative to make kind of baked goods and keto mousse or whatever. I'm finding I'm kind of liking it. So I'm having fun. I don't know how long I'll stay on it, but I just wanted to explore it to lower the insulin resistance that I know I've built up over the years because I love carbs and I love wine and I love all the good things. So
All the good things. There you
yeah.
go. My recent creativity in the kitchen was I bought skinless, boneless chicken breasts. I usually buy the thighs. I like them because they're a little juicier. But I bought the chicken breasts and I put them in a pan with a little bit of olive oil. And I have a special thing called Johnny's seasoned salt. And I buy it online, a great big container. And then I refilled a small one. And it has little bits of other spices and herbs in it. It's not just salt. And I know I should have cut down on salt, but I like it. And then I said to myself, what am I going to do to make these special? Because I like chicken, I like the protein, and I didn't cook them too long. They didn't get hard, but they were done. So I took a little bit of orange marmalade. I know sugar overload, sorry. Orange marmalade in the jar, and I just basted the top of the chicken breast with the orange marmalade and served it with fresh boiled sweet potatoes, yams, and a little bit of marmalade on the yams, and I mashed them. I gotta tell you, that chicken was we're talking maybe a tablespoon of orange marmalade on each chicken breast. Karen's eyes are popping. What do you think,
No,
Karen?
I want to try it. But
It
you see how
was
creativity in the kitchen. I love it. Creativity, with watercolor, with
it was
anything.
so simple. It was so silly. It was simple. It's like, what do you have on hand? They say go to your pantry, right? What do you have on hand that's a flavor you like that could enhance something else that you don't usually put it on? So I did. So Lily, interesting. I bet the baking is a challenge. Anything you want to say, Karen, to her? Any comments about
I
baking or
just
changing
love
your diet?
your open-mindedness and just trying different, types of food, types of cooking, and using creativity to just experiment,
I'll
you
tell
know?
you, I'll tell you another trick. I buy the little grape tomatoes, the small ones, cut them in half or thirds, put them in a little olive oil with a little bit of that Johnny salt and saute them, not mushy, and then put a salmon fillet, a small one, in the pan with them. The juice and tanginess from the tomatoes will flavor the salmon.
Mm.
Put them over rice or pasta or mashed potatoes, or just have it plain. But the tomatoes become the sauce without making sauce.
Wow.
I've been doing that, and I buy 2 containers of them a week. They come in a little, it's circular with a little top on top. It's like a little cone, and it's packed with grape tomatoes, and they last a couple weeks. And I'll just take a handful, wash them, and then cut them, put them in the pan, and then add whatever. I can do it for salmon. I could do it for shrimp,
Mm.
frozen jumbo shrimp, deveined, shell on. Take the shells off, defrost them in warm water, and then put them in with the tomatoes. The flavor is. And there's no bottle of sauce. There's no jar. There's no 15 ingredients. It's just there. So that's what I've discovered just from experimenting. See, we're
My
having
favorite recipes. Yes,
cooking
like two
show
or three
here too.
ingredients, right?
Ladies, are you ready for our art show? Who wants to start? Karen or Lily? Karen, you ready?
I'm ready, but this tech part, I'm just kind of worried. So let me just
Don't
see.
don't
Oh,
be worried.
so
I'm going to stop the sharing for me now. I'm going to stop sharing for me. I have the
okay.
audio sharing on. So sharing is open for you or Lily, whoever wants to do it. Just go to the share button and then hit screen. If you have it, you have the document open. Oh, there you go.
Yes, from beginning, and it should be. Is that it?
That's it. That's it. Oh, so slowly, tell us
Oh
what
my.
we're looking at. Karen, you're a
Well,
pro.
we
Come
are
on.
looking
You're a
at
pro.
the first two books that I wrote. One was based on my diary when my eldest went off to college. It's very, very heartbreaking for me. And so I wrote Mama's Gotta Let Go, How to Let
Ka-
Go Without Losing Your Sanity. Oh,
Karen,
can
who
you not?
designed the cover? Who designed the cover?
Oh, actually, my daughter's best friend. This is the year, actually, the month that I started my own adventure in painting. I didn't think that I could do it. So when she did this, for some reason, they both said, you have to try painting. And I think, like you, Bonnie, I got addicted. But if you look at the balloons, right? Stress, management, judgment, anxiety, fear. I mean, it's just, I think everything that we hold on to. And I think this book taught me not to hold on to what no longer serves us.
Mm-hmm.
First, it was for moms, but this young guy, he was in his 20s, interviewed me, and he said when he read it, it taught him like the importance of letting go, and I guess helping his relationship with his mom. And I didn't realize that it's not just for moms. I mean, I think all of us, right?
It's
All of us need to let go.
it's beautiful. And the cover
Thank you.
tells a story more than most book covers do. The cover
Thank
is an
you.
artwork that what do you think, Lily? You agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I think it looks amazing and I want to get it.
It's gorgeous, Karen. I've seen the book before, you know that, but I haven't just looked at it like this on the screen. The flowing of the words, Mama's gotta let go, the curve, and then the balloons wisping away from her as she looks, she's on the cliff, the precipice, the urgency, the forward looking, but don't fall, and all of these things that are coming out, and chaos is the biggest one, and then the
Mhm.
rest of the title. Just beautiful, Karen.
Thank
That's
you. I haven't looked at it for a long time. This was, I think, in 2020,
It's lovely.
like a
Tell
month
tell
before.
us about the other one.
The other one, well, my best friend Deslin, who
I know Des.
Bonnie knows, right before we were going to go back in, you remember distance learning? She said, why don't you just do maybe a couple of weeks of just parenting tips to support the parents? So the hyperachiever me just kept going, 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 going. And then I wrote 100. I did actually 100 TikTok videos. And so I asked my daughter, should I do 100 parenting tips inspired by the pandemic, or should I do grandma's Alzheimer's journey? When my
Mm.
mom was still living, and I think intuitively I thought it would be good to write that book after, because just really go through the entire journey from, as a little girl and then after she passes. So these 100 TikTok videos turned into 100 parenting tips. And I thought they were, because a lot of it was distance learning, but it really involved everything from learning map skills, learning emotional intelligence, learning how to connect with your kids. Sometimes learning to let go too. But all of these 100, I actually shocked myself that I came up with 100. I'm sure a lot of the lessons overlap, but yeah, this is I
Was
think
it
came out.
your idea to put the COVID mask with the world map on it on the cover?
I actually had the mask, I had a globe, and I didn't realize that it could be put together. So I I think what happened? I think I had remember Mafe?
Mm-hmm. I know,
I think
Mafe.
her team
That is
yeah, it
very
was
clever.
yeah. So I wanted I
Very,
just strange. I just noticed.
very,
I'm
very telling.
looking at the yeah.
It jumped out. Lily, I want to keep moving here. Lily, any comments on the cover?
I think it's a great cover. I mean, I think you probably have made $1 billion with that book. What parent did not want parenting tips during the pandemic?
That's
So
right.
very
That's right.
timely.
Karen, go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide.
Thank you. Okay, real quickly, these next two, the 6 decades, 6 lessons are from, I turned 60 in 2024. So my dream was to share my poetry, share poems, share lessons. And so I decided to do that.
Karen, there's so much movement on that cover. Look at Lily, look at it.
Ew.
The six intersecting like a Venn diagram with the circle around navigating life is putting us in motion, Karen. Karen, your covers are works of art. Do you know that?
Thank you. Well, my daughter's like, why is it? I guess she thought it was just weird with the circle and she didn't see the
No,
60. So a few minutes ago, I thought, I wonder if, but
I
thank you.
love
I needed to
it.
hear that.
I love it. Lily, thoughts?
Yeah, it looks like the six is rolling. It's
Yeah,
gonna move.
yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Very nicely done. And Karen, of course, the latest one. Tell us about this one.
The latest one, what the covers from made by my daughter, my eldest, who is a graphic designer, and we put a lot of thought into, my mom's Alzheimer's journey. Like, so it was she thought of the train because my mom, it's like from Tokyo to Hawaii to Oblivion, and I was very, I didn't know what to expect. So I love the cherry blossoms, the mountain, and then she said it was me, and it's like my inner child could be my mom and me, but there's so many representations on what the two shadows could be. But
Beautiful.
definitely I think this book was very healing for me because just navigating that journey, and then I'm realizing, I think Lily, right, aren't you going
Oh,
through that?
my mom-in-law has it. Yeah.
Mm,
And then I didn't realize a lot of people, former students, my clients who are only children, the journey is real, and knowing that they're not alone. It is
mhm.
just something that, and then I
It's
share lessons too. So I think one of the lessons was just the power of touch. The memories might leap, right? But when you hug them, when you touch them, or live in the moment, it's the only one. Because I think we get so caught up in frustration and like, oh, why do they not, like remember?
it's
So.
beautiful, Karen. It's a lovely,
Thank you.
lovely cover. And tell your daughter, bravo. That was
Thank
lovely.
you.
Is that tell
Well,
us
my
who
next two, this is the
yes.
last two. The Power to Rise Above came out in 2022, and it is a collaboration of 30 women globally, and they're sharing their struggles and how they access the power to rise above. My chapter is titled The Gift of a Failed Suicide Attempt. It took a lot
Mm,
of courage and vulnerability. It happened 3 decades ago, but I didn't realize that someone saw it, read it, and decided to live another day. When I heard that,
mhm.
I thought, wow, it was almost not really, well, I didn't know what people would think because my students, right, the parents, but I think, yeah, I'm glad that it's inspirational rather than a what?
It's
You
a
tried to do what?
it's a beautiful cover and it also has movement and nature and it's lovely. I think we're doing a study here in cover art, which I have
Yeah.
never done, didn't plan to, but wow. Lily, thoughts on I want to make sure we get plenty of time for Lily's as well. So go ahead,
Yeah,
Lily.
yeah.
What do
I
you,
love the title of it, and
yeah.
that you got some feedback that your story touched somebody's heart and changed their life, and that's really all that I think we're all here to do, is to really share our experiences so other people get inspired to go on one more day, one
There
more
you
day.
go. One more day, one more show. Karen, do the next one and then we want to see your art. Go ahead.
Okay, the next one is 365 positive parenting quotes and affirmations. It's 365 paintings and a quote for each one. So it's not, I didn't realize that if you do this as a paperback, it's something like, I don't know, $70 or $80. And I was disappointed in only doing the ebook, but I thought, you know what? I think a lot of people choose ebooks and yeah, I was kind of like, oh no, this is a failure. And I just rewired that and thought, it's okay that it's in ebook form. But yeah, this was challenging. I didn't know I was going to have to come up with 365. I think I had 150 and they were going to reuse them. And in 2 days I said, no, I can do 150. So I did
Yes.
150
Karen,
in 2 days.
nothing you do is a failure, my dear, my friend.
Thank you.
Nothing you do is a failure. Let's see the art on the next one.
Okay, so this one has a little glass that I found on my walk with the dogs, 3D decorations. You see the butterfly, the flower, the little pearl, and just 3D. And then this was some balloon art, some balloon kisses that Bonnie taught me, and then the hair dryer, which I was obsessed with it. When you just do the acrylic and you just blow the paints and you don't know what it's going to turn out, but
Yes.
learned not to judge.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think, oh, you should have stopped at, when you read comments on people who do art, oh, maybe it was too much, maybe it was, but I think it ends up being what it's supposed to be. So that's what I learned about the total abstract,
Beautiful.
especially using a hairdryer. You have no idea. You're like, oh no, one of the colors just disappeared.
I'm disappearing in the sun here. Go ahead
Oh,
to your next slide. Go ahead.
okay. My next one, similar to I just decided to do an abstract version of Mama's Gotta Let Go. It's just like let it go. I did just abstract sponges,
Beautiful.
brushes, and just did a few balloons. And so she's just
Delicious.
letting it go, right? Whatever doesn't serve her.
Delicious.
This one, a lot of hair dryer, a lot of jet, and I love and I have gold foil, pieces of gold
Yep.
foil.
Yeah, I see it.
And this one, you know what I love is when people go, oh my gosh, I see and it could be anything from a fish
Yep.
I've never seen it, right? And yeah, I see it too. Trying to look at it, and I love how it does spark anyone's creativity. A child would say, I don't see anything. Wait a minute, I see. And then, then they just write a few sentences about it and
Beautiful.
writing with art. Okay.
Gorgeous.
And then this
Ooh.
one is, this is a mini. So I used tiny pearls and
Oh, these are gorgeous.
I don't know what I think I just decided the blues just meshed together, and it was just something that I
Lovely.
had
It
no
reminds me
intent.
of cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of today. Yeah.
You know what I see? I see a pie.
Oh my gosh.
I see a cherry pie with little dabs of whipped cream around the edges of it, and I'm
love
hungry
it.
now. I see a pie.
I think it started out to be a moon, and then I thought, wow, I see the pie now. I see
Yeah, it's a pie, and it was pie day. The other day was
I
pie
could
day.
use this one instead of a pie.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Karen. These are just
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
I want to start Lily's slideshow next. Okay, Karen, that was splendiferous. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Just
Thank you.
beautiful. And sharing should be open for you, Lily.
Okay.
Just
Let's
hit that share
see
button. There you go.
if we can do this.
We'll do it.
I'm going to hit present and then full screen.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, that wasn't my start. Sorry. That was
It's okay.
But I'll just talk about these.
Seriously?
This is like my latest thing that I'm doing, which I'm calling a divine frequency soul activation portrait. And
Lily.
because it's so fun playing in Canva and layering, which is what we do with our painting too sometimes.
Explain. What are we looking at?
So we're looking at some light codes, some astrological symbols, whatever is coming through for me from talking with these beautiful goddesses, whatever they're kind of focused on in their lives. And just something to show like this beautiful potential that we have inside and to remind you that you are a goddess and that you have all of this. This is all, all inside of you, and I just wanted to bring it outside. So this is my interpretation of what these ladies
tell me
bring.
about the face of the lady with the black, and the blue starry hair. Did you create that face, or is it?
No, that's a real person.
Oh my goodness.
That is my friend Sean Berg, and she's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say that's magnificent. Wow,
And
it's still magnificent.
Yeah, so I make these, and then like Callie is using hers as a business card, and anyways, I'm having a lot of fun. This is kind of like I feel like a culmination of all of my artwork
Have
because
you
I
and
used
I
to do
met
dolls.
before? Have we met before? Because I had somebody on my show who was doing that, taking the person's paint, but nothing like this, nothing at this level.
I don't think so because I just started doing these about 6 months ago. So
are magnificent.
Well, thank you very much.
A photo or what? How is it?
Oh yes, I use a photo.
And then it's on Canva, and then you just do your magic.
I just layer a whole bunch of things.
Wow.
And the reason I'm showing this painting right here is because yesterday was my mom's birthday, and the inspiration for this face was from my mother. And so, and then I'm going on the Great Mother March in just a week here. And so I have the mother on my mind and the Great Mother. And this was done in Whitney Freya's course, Vision Quest. And she just kind of became born, and I had a lot of fun just like smearing paint on there with my hands, and then
Really?
just waiting to see, what was going to arise or what was going to come out.
These
So
are gorgeous.
yeah, I
Just
love her. She
breathtaking.
hangs right over my bed and watches over me.
Oh, oh, how
Wow.
beautiful.
And then this is the
Oh
female
my God.
Buddha. Just like you can see there's a
Oh,
lot of layers here, a lot of things
yes.
going on. And I like it almost feels like when your bra strap is showing, like you can see a little bit of the underlayers going on, a little bit of the
Love
magic
it.
happening. And that's how I do painting. It's like you can keep painting only on one canvas for your whole life, and just knowing that it's never done and you can never get it wrong. And that's the beautiful thing about
Magnificent.
using art as a process and a meditation rather than focused on
Yes.
a product. Eventually, I get to a product, but I'm not really focused so much on the products. And
Oh,
here's
wow.
another fun
Oh,
Buddha.
really?
I just like the Buddhas. So also sits
Beautiful
over my
color.
bed.
Gorgeous.
And then I'm most proud of these because my mentor Whitney Freya has a book called Rise Above, which she wrote when Trump
Mm,
got elected the first time. And how can we focus on what we want to create? How can we focus on becoming lighter? How can we rise above
mm-hmm.
the circumstances that we all have to go through? And so I painted this at my last retreat in Croatia, and I finally made a pair of wings. So it's my pair of wings to rise above and remind people that, we all walk around with wings. Sometimes you can see them and sometimes you can't. And then who else? Oh, and then this is my very
Oh,
first
gosh.
painting with Whitney, where she prompted me through a 21-day challenge to paint the female Buddha. And this
Wow.
is this is where I said, "Oh, I think I kind of like this." She prompted me, and every day the canvas got more and more defined, and then I was like, "I kind of like this. This is kind of cool
Mm,
process."
beautiful.
And then this is my latest and greatest that I'm just so stinking proud of
Oh, oh,
because it's more free. It feels more loose, like the strokes are more loose. I'm not so concerned about making tiny little brush strokes and having everything perfect. And I've struggled with that for most of my adult life, trying to get it right and trying to be
Mhm.
perfect. And it's like, oh,
magnificent.
let's just let out what wants to come out. And then that face kind of magically appeared. First it was a mountain or it was a mountain, and then the face appeared speaking because I've been focused on speaking my voice, sharing my truth, and showing up for myself in the world. So yeah, I just have
Well,
fun, and the layers are just kind of building, building, building. And if you
Lily, this is breathtaking. This
it's
is
so
thank you.
breathtaking.
breathtaking. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
Is that
Wow.
enough?
That's enough. I want to see if we can
Okay.
squeeze mine in. We're just about
Yes.
2 minutes left, and I want to see if I can get mine in before because I want,
You've
yeah,
been
so
very
let me go to,
patient.
oh, you've been wonderful. Oh, we need to do a whole other show. Okay, can you see mine now? I
Yes.
just a
ooh.
little slideshow. These are just a sample of what I've done. These are various acrylics. The one here at the top here is scraping. I put the paint in, then I put layers over it, and I scrape it with a kitchen tool and just scrape it to get the square down to what's underneath. Most of these are acrylic. This is jewelry. This is real jewelry. She's a lady at the opera, I think. Let me go on and show you some more. These are some of my nature photos of in my backyard, nature photography of real butterflies and real flowers close up, and they pose for me. Here's some more. There was an oriole outside, and
Wow.
I got a portrait of him. I don't know how, and they just sit still for me. I think I talked to them. And then here, this is what I call enhanced art. I create the art in an AI program, Night Cafe, and I print it out. I create the face and I print it out on clear film, a clear sheet, 11 and a half, 11 by 8.5 on my printer. So it's basically a sketch. Then I run down the hall to my art studio. I take this before the ink dries. Forget it's on clear film. It's not on paper. And I pat it down on the other side onto 12 by 12 white cardstock. which is thicker than paper, and I pat it down and rub it so that the ink transfers. What I get is an outline, and then I apply acrylics, watercolors. These are little fake plastic jewels. I have a whole kit of them. I put different shape eyes in, and I color in the hair. I use brushes. I use all kinds of paint. I use, you can't see jewelry. I make little gold from candy wrappers. I make necklaces on them. I gave her the cheeks here. I put in the eyes. I paint the outline of her glasses. I put a little jewel in her flower here. I gave him blue eyes. I gave her two different shape eyes. I gave her earrings. And I just create these from what I created in the AI, but I call these enhanced art. And I have about a dozen of these. Here are some more. You can see these are all my
Incredible.
interpretations of these arts that I say. I gave the prompt and they gave me the face, but that's not what it looked like when it was onto the paper. And then here are some of my Karen, there's a bunch of balloon kisses on the right, and on the left was a huge painting I did of an eye. It was just bright red and yellow colors and greens, and it's a big one, and it just had, I put an eye in it. I don't know who it was.
Oh, wow.
And then these are some more mixed media, and these are I call these the birds here, the squiggles.
Whoa.
And this was done, I love using black canvas, and I just painted different flowers with different shapes to them. This was I used a ruler for this, and this is all done in, I'm pretty sure it's watercolors. This was in my phase of drawing, sketching everything out with a ruler and pen and then filling it in. And this is one of my City Never Sleeps here. Just I like to make the shapes in the cities and different interpretations of who's inside the buildings, the cities. And then
Wow.
this is one of my favorites. This is on
Ooh,
black. It's a long, skinny one. This was paint pour, and it just came out with cars, and I call it Cars in the Sky. I have no idea how they got there, but they were there. And you can see this
that's
car
incredible.
all straight, and these are little balloon kisses, and this is the whatever underneath, and these are more. This one has little scrolls of paper. That's what I do here sometimes, and just put those on. And then this one is another one of all swirls. And oh, I'm almost done. And these are some more in acrylic. This
Ooh,
is a very angry face. I don't know who he is or what he's doing. This was scrapings here. You can see the scrapings down to what the paint is underneath. I love the chaos of these, Lily. And then this was another paint pour and tilt in acrylics and see what comes out. And then this is my teddy bear art.
oh,
I'm on 257th. Today is a 256th consecutive day. I do these in Night Cafe
it's
every
so
night.
adorable.
I use a filter, a realistic filter, and I have my three teddy friends smiling. I tell them what to wear. They're always in blue and white. They're flying kites. They're having a fire with marshmallows. They're doing a boat on the pond. They're catching butterflies. And Karen, they're writing poetry, and that's what they do. So that was my contribution to the show. I'm the surprise artist. There we go. We're back on the screen again. So
That was so
thank
much
you
fun.
very much. So Jordan has given us an extra minute. I'm going to play the outro, even though, you know what, Jordan, I'm going to play the music, but I'm going to stick around with the ladies and we're going to do a little bit. Didn't do my closing yet. So let's just do the good news, 10 seconds. And Jordan, you can close and we're going to stick around and do this. So here we go. All right, let me get this started here. Ba, 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 ba. All right. We're saying say what for Voice America Media Empowerment Channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Jordan. Okay, we're going to say goodbye. There we go. We're going to say goodbye, Jordan. Thank you very much. And thank you for that. And I'm going to stick around with the ladies for a few more minutes. I just want to relax now. Karen, I am such a fan of your creativity and the
Oh,
flame, the flame that ignites in your heart when you do your art, when you write your books. You have such compassion for people being real and
ew.
getting
Thank
through
you.
whatever is the what's weighing us down, what's confusing us, what's bothering us. We all have stuff. And your art and your books are so helpful with that. And I appreciate that. Lily, you are a shock and amazement to the system. You are an absolute surprise. I had no idea what we were in for with you. I didn't know, and I'm watching to make sure we're still streaming. Yes, I didn't know what I was in for when I invited you. Karen said, "Oh, my friend
I
Lily,
told you, I said I have the perfect person.
but I didn't know, and I didn't ask Lily. I'm running out of disk space. Stop that. Ignore. Okay, I don't know why. Anyway, I just appreciate you so much, Lily, and thank you for taking a chance and coming on and sharing your absolutely beautiful art with us. I
It
appreciate
was
you.
delightful.
I hope you'll come back. I'd like to do this again with a little more leisure, and we can skip the quotes and just do more on art. If you would, the two of you would like to do that, I
Sure.
think just do an art show. So I have some quotes for you. This is from Lucy Maud Montgomery, wrote Anne of Green Gables in 1908. She's a Canadian author. Chapter 19 in the book is called A Concert, a Catastrophe, and a Confession. Karen, you need to do a painting about that. And here is the quote. I love this quote. Something just flashes into your mind, so exciting, and you must out with it. If you stop to think it over, you spoil it all. Isn't that the truth, ladies?
Ooh.
Here's another one from Rapunzel, the tangled computer animated musical adventure fantasy comedy film 3D. Can they put any more genres into the soup and mix them all up? From 2010, Mandy Moore voiced the character, and here's the quote. Venture outside your comfort zone. The rewards are worth it. Isn't that what we're
Oh,
doing?
wow. Beautiful.
Here's one from the Rolling Stones, 1969. You know the song. You can't always get what you want, but if we try, sometimes you'll get what you need.
Oh,
Isn't that true? And one more from Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, from the original
ooh.
1939 Wizard of Oz. You know this one, Lily. You had the power all along, my dear. There you go.
Oh, that's my new favorite one.
There you go. So I want to read you a little. I belong to a poetry group. Karen knows that. And we get a prompt every Wednesday morning. And come April 1st, we'll get one every single day for the month of April, every single month for the month of November. I've written about 750 poems, and no, I haven't published them, but I do have a little ebook I created in Canva with 30 days, half a poem, and I can send that to both of you privately. But here is the prompt was July 24th, 2024. The prompt was night shift. Write something about night shift. And I used it as an acrostic. So it's NIGHTSHIFT starts the lines. I'll lean in. I'm not going to share it visually. I'll lean in. I dedicate this every week to my creatives on the show. So listen up. Never quite really at rest. It's the life of a creative. Going, gripping, gyrating, growling, groaning, growing. Highs and lows. Flowing on a mental Mobius strip. The days are the nights are the days again. Shifting off and on, into and out of gear, hoping for unique brilliance even once. It's a calling, command, curse, roller coaster. Finding eureka, euphoria amid frustration, fears. Thus is the life of the creative.
Wow.
You enjoyed that. That's
I love
I
it.
keep that in my notes every week, and I read it for all of my guests. And here's a funny one. This one is write a blank like blank poem. So I did an acrostic, and this one I think you'll like this. It's real fast. Believe in love always. Never kiss a leprechaun in a kayak. Every boat's like a nervous kangaroo. Blank like blank. Okay, we got that. So here, now we're gonna do the real closing, and stick around. We'll talk for a few minutes after if you have time. So in 2014, I closed my show with the top 10 tips for women, and the first one happened to be 10 years before they made the movie, and you'll understand when I read it. Aspire to be Barbie. The biatch has everything. And here's one. Let's see. Lest your greatest fear in life be there is no PMS. This is your personality. I'm sorry. I've never read that one before. And here's one for all of both of you. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade and add vodka. There you go.
Ooh.
And here's my real closing. Here we go. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I remember everything. Kiss slowly. Yes. Love truly. Yes. Laugh uncontrollably. Ladies, join me in a quick laugh, real loud. That was one of the best I've had. Guests are usually very afraid to do. You're brave. And never, ever regret anything that made you smile. Final words. Work like you don't need the money. Dance like no one's watching. When I taught disco in a high school cafeteria and I didn't have a stage, I danced on top of a Formica tablecloth in high heels. I didn't fall, but I made them build me a stage the next week. Sing like nobody's listening. I didn't sing today. Lucky you. And love like you've never been hurt, because we all have. Let your heart regroup, regrow, regenerate. Learn to love again. Money talks. Chocolate sings. La! See, I did get it in there. And last but not least, Thank you for turning me on. And I stole that line from somebody years ago, and I still love it because I can use it. There we go. I'm going to play the outro music, and you're going to dance with me, and let's do the full minute of Say What Good News. Let me get my mug. Say what? I think this is just the instrumental one. Oh, no. Here we go. Morning coffee. Decaf, please. Scrolling. Had enough. Same old drama. Same old feed. Flip that dial. That's what I need. Turn it up. Let those bad vibes fade. Hit play. Good news. I'm here with Karen and with Lily, and we've had such a good time. And this is the good news. Good people doing what they do. Feel that smile coming through. Good news. This grooves